It's been some time since we spoke.
Miss me?
I find even the slightest contact painful. You are a mosquito, Archie. Inconsequential, but capable of a low, annoying buzz. You're a lightweight, a simp, a piece of white bread.
Now it's garbage.
Just another movie night.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. We are just another movie night, and I am Scott, and with me is my Riverdale alum, Joe.
Can I call you Scottykins?
Sure. I like it. I'll take it.
You know, because Veronica calls Archie Archiekins.
Yeah, that's true.
And her father is Daddykins. Because she's annoying, but...
I'm having a little coffee with my... You know what this is, right?
Talking trash?
Having a little coffee with my talking trash.
Are we talking trash?
This is our show to review, spoil, debate, and crap on, and give second chances to the hated, the lowest rated, the much debated, the often forgotten flicks on the internet, all while asking the question, is this the worst movie ever made? And if not, what is? Because here on the show, we truly believe you can't review film unless you know what the worst is. Let me have more coffee.
Well, today we're talking about something dear to my heart.
Well, yeah, today it's June, and we are watching cartoon shows turn into live action movies. And tonight we are watching a TV movie with the tagline, "The good old days are back again." We are talking about 1990's Archie to Riverdale and back again, A Hobbit's Tale.
Here, Mr. Bilbo, where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
It has a 5.3 on IMDb from 547 reviewers only. Yeah, it was directed by Dick Lowry. Or Dick Lowry. I don't know how you say it. Lowry. This director, I could do an entire year on just this guy's stuff. He has made so many false history TV movie adaptations that I am completely fascinated by.
All right, let's hear it.
He has made a series of movies based on the true crime events under the main title, In the Line of Duty. I found out one of these movies actually has Bruce Campbell as the lead.
Oh, yes.
I've never heard of it, so I was very excited about that. He is also responsible for a movie we watched for the show that I don't think we ever recorded out of your protest. And if we did record it, I no longer remember it existing. So I'm speaking about the horrible Project Alf TV movie.
Wait, Project Alf TV movie?
Did we watch it on the show?
No!
We did watch it.
No!
Yes, you
Project
protested.
Alf?
As I recall, and I might be wrong because maybe we did an episode and I don't recall it. Maybe this is the Mandela effect. We watched this movie. You were mad. You said we are not doing an episode on this. If you don't recall, this movie took place after the show ended, where we found out years later that he was being tested on by the government. And then they had a court case to decide if they were going to kill him or not.
Oh my God. Okay. I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, it starred Miguel Ferreira.
Miguel Ferrer?
Yeah, do you remember this movie? Yeah,
No.
Is it coming back to you?
Who was he playing?
He was like in the army. He was like an army sergeant that they were having a court case to talk about if they should murder him, Alf, or not, because they were sick and tired of him.
Good morning, Alf. May I call you Alf?
If you insist.
Well, I'm Dr. Warner, and I'd like to ask you a few questions.
Do I have to come up with funny answers?
Not at all. Now, during the course of these interviews, we'll also be videotaping you.
If it's shown on hard copy, I'll expect residuals.
No, these tapes are classified. The public will never see them.
That's what they told Marion Barry.
Yes.
Oh my God. No, I don't remember this at all. At all.
I gave it a 2. I do not recall if we actually recorded this episode or not. I don't know. I'm having the Mandela effect on this movie.
Okay.
Anyways,
were the Tanners in that?
No, they didn't even. They said they don't even want anything to do with them.
Oh my God.
That is affirmative, madam. The alien held the Tanner family captive and terrorized them for as long as he lived with them.
The Tanners and Alf got along great.
On the contrary, Mr. Tanner testified himself that the alien set over 300 fires in their home and that he continually tried to eat the family cat.
For the record, he never ate the cat. Besides, it was only 246 fires, and most of those were barbecue related.
Where is the Tanner family now?
They were placed on the Witness Protection Program in 1990.
Well, perhaps we should talk to them.
I'm afraid they don't have a phone yet, sir. It's hard to get service in Reykjavik.
They live in Iceland?
They turned down Mozambique. They weren't happy with the school system there.
Well, are they happy
They're
with...
fine, ma'am. The rest is classified.
They just let him go and get experimented on?
The reason we watched it because I was shocked. I had never heard it existed before because I just remembered the finale of Alf being Alf stuck on the roof. And and not stuck on the roof, but the cops, the army finding out Alf existed and taking him away, and it never came back. And then I guess years later they made a TV movie, which I did not know existed.
And what was the name of the TV movie?
Project Alf.
Project Alf. No, I don't remember this. Oh my God. Oh my God, I did rate it. I gave it a 2.
I told you.
What is happening to me?
You protested its existence. You honestly told me we're not recording an episode. But I keep thinking to myself, did we record on this? I don't even know. I would have to look in our backlog.
A 2? I don't recall any of it.
Yeah. Well, let's move on now.
Okay,
so,
anyway, yeah.
He also directed a terrible movie that I absolutely loved called Smokey and the Bandit Part 3.
I love it.
Are you sure you know what the hell you're doing? Shit! Sorry about that.
He also directed a series of Kenny Roger as the Gambler movies. The legend continues. Fascinated.
Wait,
I'm fascinated by it.
Kenny Rogers made a
Gambler movie series.
Movie series?
Yes. Aren't you interested now? You're kind of interested, right? Yeah. It's written by long-running writer and producer of the... By the way, I'm talking about this movie now. We're moving on from the Gambler.
Riverdale and back again?
Yeah, we're talking about Riverdale.
Okay.
We're going to move on from Kenny Rogers.
I'm still stuck on Kenny Rogers. I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, you want to watch that now, don't you?
I do, yes.
Yeah. There's like 5 of them.
Such a debonair man.
Yeah, yeah. And that song playing throughout each one of them is going to be great.
He rocked that silver hair.
He did. He was a
and
silver fox.
That beard, he's good.
And he had some good Kenny Rogers roaster chickens, as I recall. Do you remember that shop?
Yes, I do. He had some good jams, too.
Yeah.
Islands in a stream, that is what we are.
You're going to
No one in between. No.
Like this show's monetized.
Wait, what's Nothing from Nothing?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, is that his song too?
No.
It's not. Okay, so this movie today we're talking about is written by long-running writer and producer of the TV show 24 and all of its reincarnations.
Kiefer?
No, it's
24?
I said it's written by the long-running writer and producer of the 24 franchise.
Yeah. 24.
Evan Katz, yeah.
Wow, that's rad.
It stars Christopher Rich as Archie Andrews. He was on the TV shows Another World, Reba, and Murphy Brown. It also stars Lauren Holly as Betty Cooper. You know her from TV shows like Picket Fences, movies like Any Given Sunday, Beautiful Girls, What Women Want, and the cinematic masterpiece that is Hot Frosty. And as Jim Carrey's love interest in Dumb and Dumber. It also stars Karen Coppins. Is that how you say it? Coppins?
I say Coppins.
Yeah, Karen Coppins as Veronica Lodge. You may know her from the TV show Dallas, movies like True Beverly Hills, the cinematic masterpiece that is Fast Forward, and as Jim Carrey's love interest in Once Bitten.
Okay, first of all, how dare you talk about Fast Forward, okay? When I was in my dance days, that movie was the jam, and it still holds up for me today. All right.
Okay.
Anyway.
That's why I put it there for you.
Yeah,
I put Hot Frosty and Fast Forward, 2 cinematic masterpieces. Let's move on. It also stars Sam Whipple as Jughead Jones. You may know him from TV shows like 7 Days. Don't ask. I don't know, but it's a long-running show. Movies like This Is Spinal Tap, The Rock, the cinematic masterpiece Airheads. and no, he wasn't a Jim Carrey love interest.
Oh.
Yeah. It also stars Gary Kroger as Reggie Mantle. You may know him from the 10th season of SNL, where he was the cast member alongside Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Harry Shearer, Rich Hall, Christopher Guest, Martin Short, Jim Belushi, and Billy Crystal. And no, not on the love interest of Jim Carrey.
No, I don't remember. I don't remember him.
Mm-hmm. It also stars Lloyd Braun. I mean, Matt McCoy as Robert Miller. You may know him from L.A. Confidential, The Hand That Rocks the Cradle, and a cinematic masterpiece that is Police Academy Assignment Miami Beach.
Dude, love this guy. He's Lloyd Braun on Seinfeld. He's such a worm.
Yeah.
He's so good at it.
Oh, my goodness. You want me to go further? Okay, so I got one here. I have a couple.
I don't really need to, I guess.
I was going to say that Hiram Lodge is played by James Noble, who was on Benson, a very long-running sitcom.
Yeah,
Benson.
I recognized him.
Yeah, he and also I don't know if you noticed this too, but Judge Brown in this movie is Ray Burke. He is known as Pap Schmear forever for me. I cannot unsee him from Naked Gun franchise.
Oh
as Pap
my
Schmear.
God, he is.
Yes.
I was wondering where. I was trying to place him.
And also, I have to point this one out too, because I just deep dived into everybody in this movie. Midge is played by Debbie Derryberry, which is one of my favorite names I've ever heard in my life. She is a long-running voice actress doing 351 credits, including cartoon versions of Jimmy Neutron. She's the voice of Jimmy Neutron on television.
Oh my God.
Wednesday Addams in the cartoon formats.
Wow.
And she is the voice of the aliens in the Toy Story franchise.
Oh my God. Okay, first of all, can we just talk about Midge in this real quick? She is the cutest. This is my favorite casting. She's not in it enough.
She's not in
but
enough.
She's definitely, they rocked her character. They gave her like this freaking hairstyle that looks like a man's toupee, like with a comb over. It's adorable on her. It looks like a toupee, but she's just the way that they dressed her. And obviously Midge is Moose's girlfriend in the comics.
So yeah, let's talk about that. So you are a huge Archie comics fan.
Yeah, lifelong.
We've watched almost all the incarnations of it because of you being a fan.
Yeah.
I knew somewhat a lot of it. I think that growing up, I knew more about, of course, Josie and the Pussycats and Sabrina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Archie, I know Jughead, I knew the whole idea, behind the dynamic between the girls and him. I knew all that kind of stuff, but I never read the comics. So I found this fascinating when we found this movie and we had never heard of it. It kind of shocked me.
Yeah, I was shocked because I love anything to do with Archie. I still collect comics to this day.
And I guess I would say this too. This is kind of a break in what we've been doing. Although this was a cartoon franchise as well in the 70s, it's also a comic book movie. So we're touching on both things. And I don't know if you know this, but I like comic books.
Comic books?
Have I ever told you?
Yeah,
that?
well, I didn't know that, but they also came out with a Archie's Weird Mysteries TV show with the worst voiceover acting that I can't even watch it because the voice acting is so bad that they made Jughead like the voice of Jughead is so bad I can't watch it.
Well, doing what I normally do is when I like look up trivia and I look into facts, I fall down these rabbit holes, and one of the rabbit holes I fell down was the Groovy Ghoulies. What is this?
I don't know.
Do you know about the Groovy Ghoulies cartoon series?
I do not.
Did you know they existed in the Archie universe?
I did not.
Okay, so we're gonna have to look into this. In fact, I would go so far to pause the episode and just watch that entire franchise.
Okay.
And come back.
Everybody shout! Come on now,
but we're not going to do it.
Okay, I do remember this.
Yeah, it turns out it was a thing for like 16 episodes, and then it spawned into a shorts on the Sabrina cartoon.
Okay, yeah, I do remember this.
They crossed over with everybody.
I didn't know that they had anything to do with Archie.
Yeah, they're in the Archie universe.
That's crazy, but they're not in the Archie comic books. Not the ones I grew up reading.
I'm going to look into it more because I was like, how do I not know who these characters are, and how has Joe never mentioned them since they are like Frankenstein and werewolf and all that?
Yeah, I do remember this. I don't recall them ever being in any of the comic books that I've ever read. And I used to read the digest, the Archie digest, the Betty and Veronica's,
all of them. There's like 50 books in this franchise. But I was going to say, before we go too far off, we are talking about a movie tonight.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the movie.
I could talk about pop culture, especially Archie comics.
Yeah, which we can.
Fun fact, I got to meet legend Bob Bowling at a convention.
We met Bob Bowling.
And
very awesome.
Yeah, he gave me
sketches.
He gave me a sketch of Archie.
And we bought an entire page that he signed.
Yep, a page of art.
His actual mock-up pages for the comics before they went into coloring and everything like that.
Yeah, in the 50s he used to write for Little Archie, then he moved on to writing for Archie.
Isn't that cool?
That's amazing. He's still alive, 96 years old.
That's amazing. I was thinking about it. We have a wall of art, and we keep finding out that artists that we have art from have passed away, and it's sad. We have like Tim Sale, and we have Tom Costello, right? And we got all these people, and we're like, damn, that's sad.
For sure, especially Tommy Castillo. He was really good.
I said, yeah.
What'd you say?
I butchered it. I apologize.
Yeah, but he's really. We have a lot of art in our house, and one of the things I will always treasure, though, is the fact that I actually got to meet Bob Bowling and get a sketch from him, and I actually have one of his.
You almost didn't do it too. I kind of
was
forced
so
you
scared.
into it. Yeah.
I was really scared.
So we have to get something.
It's like, oh my God, he's a freaking legend. This guy, he's a legend. And I make a fool out of myself. Let's face it. I do. I get starstruck and I start babbling on. But with him, I was very calm and collected. And
I kind of remember you kind of saying, like, mentioning somebody else that he doesn't draw usually. And then he was like, and then you were like, anybody's fine. Like, as I recall, because he did sketch Archie, which is surprising that you didn't pick someone else first.
No, I don't recall this. I don't recall it, but I don't know. I was so happy to meet him. Anyway.
Yeah, we have a long record of saying and doing dumb things around famous people. So
we talked about this in the past.
We've had an
We don't
episode.
need to talk about this again.
I enjoyed it. I think there's some that we haven't discussed, but I definitely have already
we
said
don't need
a lot
to bring
of
that
many
up right
of mine.
now.
But anyways, back into the movie. So now here's the thing. We found this movie. I could not believe it existed. I assumed because of the 5 and the only 500 people seeing this thing, I assumed the worst. But very surprising. This was a cute little movie.
It was so cute.
And
that's why we're like talking trash. Like, are we though?
And it's a cute TV movie that was supposed to start a TV series. Now that is a shocking thing. This was supposed to be the pilot for a TV show.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't know that.
And what's really crazy, well, it does make sense when you know the ending in the film. But what's also crazy is that they wanted this to be a universe of Archie shows because they also meant this Sabrina show. The Sabrina television show that came out followed this, and it was supposed to be in the same universe, and they were hoping for crossovers.
You're referring to Melissa Joan Hart.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I'm very surprised by all of this when I read all this.
Oh, yeah, that is. I mean, this movie came out what year?
90.
90. Okay.
Yeah, so here's the main thing to say here. We are kind of surprised. I think I can speak for both of us here. The casting is pretty decent.
Okay, I'm gonna say that the VIPs of the casting the award goes to Midge and Moose. I think that they were perfect.
I think I don't know if just because I have a little bit of a crush on her, but I think that Betty was really well cast.
Oh, Lauren Holly, you have a little bit of a crush on her? Oh my lord, your eyeballs are glued onto her like I can't even.
My latest story. I just finished it.
I looked up from the dark, wet sand and saw the fire in his eyes. I didn't know about my mind, but my body was telling me, Betty?
I never forgot the night of the storm, Archie. And I never forgot the way I stood by and watched while you chased after Veronica. How I never just went after what I wanted.
What are you doing?
Something I always wanted to do with you, Archie. I'm sick of being Miss Goody Two-Shoes. Treat me like a woman, Archie. Make me wild.
Now, let's not be rash.
Well, she gives some of the best
booty
bed face. No, I don't know about booty.
Well, they
I
showed her
know that.
booty in this.
She has "I Want to Lay You Eyes" in this movie. She does. She goes
does.
for it in this film.
She does. She's very beautiful. She has a very distinct like facial acting thing that she does.
Yeah. Maybe it also has a lot to do with me just thinking that Archie's an idiot. And I'm constantly like, how is he not with Betty?
Well, the whole entire thing, when you think about Archie in general, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, Archie, okay, this is what's so weird about him, okay? He's a doofus. Archie in the comics is a doofus, but he also does sports. He has a Letterman's jacket.
He's like Elvis.
He's a very popular kid. He is like Elvis. But he has these two girls, two opposite personalities that fawn all over him. I mean, I personally think that number one, Betty and Veronica being best friends, that already in itself is a joke because there's no way that these two human beings would ever be friends. Ever. In my personal opinion, Betty is a tomboy, a down-home girl. She works on cars.
But I think that's where the friendship starts because they bond over their love for Archie, but also their rejection from Archie.
But yes, also the fact that they're always vying over his affections, which could turn a friendship very sour very quickly. So it's like, okay, that in itself, but the fact that he's got these two girls always all over him and he can't decide. And I mean, this is like every guy's dream, right? I mean, to have two girls madly in love with you and you don't really have to make a decision, but his non-decision making skills, like, they get him in trouble a lot.
Let me get a couple of my thoughts out. One, the reason that they might love Archie so much is that they can't have him.
Well, that's Veronica. She has to have everything little rich girl.
Yeah, and then two, there's a saying, right? You sleep with Veronica, but you marry Betty. Am I correct here?
I mean, I guess.
Because she's the vixen that is a one-night stand person, and then Betty is the wife, the one that cares about you.
Why can't Betty be everything?
No, she is. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I don't get.
I don't get it.
When I know the character of Archie, I do not know. I understand that he might lust for Veronica coming onto him because she's money and she's like sex.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but Betty is the clear fall in love with. And I don't understand where the Archie character does not fall for Betty. And I think that this movie, that's why this movie is successful to me, because it is exactly doing that, and it is doing the arc and continuing it.
I get it. It is successful in that way. However, I never understood this. I've been reading these comics since I was a little girl, and I never understood why did Veronica even like Archie? She liked Archie because she didn't want Betty to have her, and
that's what I
Veronica's a bitch. She didn't want Betty to have Archie, period.
But also, and I think this movie does this successfully too, there's a scene in this movie where Veronica comes on to Archie very hardcore. And Archie shows that he doesn't want to take advantage of her. And he doesn't want to ruin that thing that they have. And I think that's really well done in the movie to explain why exactly Veronica loves him. Because a lot of men treat her like an object.
I'm still engaged.
Can she understand you 1/10 of the way we understand each other? I mean, doesn't that mean anything to you? Don't I?
Ronnie, you mean a lot to me, but...
But?
I'm trying to keep what we had. I'm not forgetting. No one ever falls in love like their first time, but it can't ever be that way again. Everything has changed. And even if I wasn't engaged, would it really work? I mean, how many times have you been married?
In base 10?
In base 10.
3 or so.
Or so?
Okay, 4.
Okay, see, I don't want to be number 5. I don't want to be number anything. Do you really want to chalk me up as another conquest? Or do you want me to be what you'll always be to me? Something special.
Am I really special to you?
Now and always.
Archie, I know I come on strong. It's the way I know how to deal with men. I guess it's a handicap. But as far as handicaps go, it's not too bad, right?
And Archie doesn't.
True, but also it also boils down to, can she just treat him like a lapdog? Because she can.
Which is what he says virtually, like, if we did do this and we did get together, it wouldn't be the same.
Right.
You would get sick of me.
Yeah, the little cat and mouse thing that they have going on is what keeps their little spark.
Yeah, but it's like, okay. There's a sequence in this movie where the whole idea, let's just talk about the premise to get it out of the way. The premise of this movie is we have 15 years later. The Archie gang has split up.
They graduated from high school.
Moved on with their lives. And the reason is we get in flashbacks, which is funny because the actors play them in both flashback and in future.
I know, it's very off-putting.
Which is funny.
Like, come on. I know you didn't have the budget to hire younger actors.
They didn't even try. They
Come
could
on.
have put freckles on Archie or something. But what we find out is that he didn't pick somebody to go to the prom. Right. And so when he didn't pick them to go to the prom, they basically were like, we're done. And Veronica's like, look, I'm not hanging around. You didn't pick anybody for prom. I'm going to Paris to go to college. And then Betty's saying, I want to be a writer. I'm moving out of town to learn. I'm going to a school to learn about writing. And they're all leaving Archie to stay in Riverdale.
So the timeline here is 15 years. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, on this planet of Earth that we're on, is there ever a high school reunion for 15 years?
Well, how many years is it? Because I don't know.
They say 15 years.
Yeah, but I mean, what is the normal?
10.
I thought they do it all the time.
No, it's 10-year reunion, your 20-year reunion, and your 30-year reunion.
So it's not 15.
No, that's absurd.
Yeah, why did they choose that, you think?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little confused
wondering.
about
Like,
that
that's
too.
kind of silly.
Yeah, and so, I mean, the premise is that because it's been so long, for some odd reason, Veronica has never run into Archie. This is where it gets a little problematic in the story. Or I would have thought that Archie didn't live in Riverdale anymore, but he does. That's where it's confusing because somehow he met a new woman.
Yeah, so he met this woman,
engaged.
Pam, who's a lawyer.
Yeah.
And he's also a lawyer.
Yes.
So he's got this new job that he's going to be moving to somewhere
He
with
says
her.
the city. They're going
Yeah,
to
they're
move
going
to
to
a
move
big
into
law
the
firm in a
city.
city.
And his name is going to be on the law firm name. It's going to be so-and-so and Andrews. And
They made him a partner, right?
Yeah, he's a partner because
that's stupid.
Yeah, she helped him along or whatever. I don't know.
Crazy.
But he's moving out of his house in Riverdale and he's got the boxes everywhere. But he's a lawyer.
Oh, I have so many questions about what's
so
going on
weird.
here.
But they also act like he just arrived in town because everyone's so happy to see him.
I agree.
And I'm like, you didn't just arrive in town. You've been living here your whole life.
I think that he did just come to town because what I assumed was happening in this movie is that not only was there a reunion, but maybe one of his parents had passed away, because when we see the house that he lived in when he was a child, when he's in the house, all of his old toys are everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like his bedroom is exactly the same. And so I'm very confused as to what's going on here. I took it as that he didn't want to let go of his childhood home. And then he finally was like, well, I am going to the city as a new lawyer. So I'm going to come to town. I'm going to go to the reunion. And I'm going to pack up the house for the new people to move in.
I mean, I feel like at one point, maybe I'm just...
I feel like we missed something too in this opening.
It because I feel like he's been living there the whole time. Or
it doesn't make any sense.
If he just went and packed up his childhood home, that would also make sense because he would been living with Pam in the city this whole time, which is where he got his law degree. I don't know.
New job, new look. Oh, don't wear it to the reunion, hon. Save it for Monday. You ready for city life?
4 long days and 1 little trial. Then it's goodbye, Riverdale. Hello, 2-bedroom, 2-bath with park view. Can't wait.
I categorized the boxes for you. Green stickers get moved, and orange stickers go straight to the Salvation Army.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
It's very weird.
That's the confusing aspect. And also that if he is back in town, it makes more sense because why has he never run into Veronica? I mean, Veronica has been in Paris for 15 years, but her father owns Riverdale. So why isn't she coming back to town more? And then the same thing goes with Betty. Betty lives in the next town over from Riverdale. She lives in Midvale.
Yeah.
And she's a teacher. And so when he comes back and everybody comes back, we open up the old wounds.
See, that makes sense okay, we're talking about professions now. Obviously, Veronica doesn't have a profession because she's a spoiled, rich little brat.
I've been taking care of business for Daddy overseas. Trying to learn the languages. Enough about me.
Betty being a teacher, that makes sense.
Yes, it
Archie
does.
being a lawyer, that does not make sense.
It is weird, but I kind of like the idea that he wants to help people.
I get that too. That kind of...
It kind of checks out.
It'll check out. Okay, we'll just get past that. But the profession that is the best in this is the fact that Moose Mason...
It's amazing. This is an amazing choice.
Midge, they got married and they had a kid, but they are chiropractors.
Yes.
So Moose, who is a freaking behemoth of a human, is snapping necks back and forth.
It's
so funny.
It is a funny idea that really checks out.
Yeah, and he's great as a character.
I kind of like this too. We also find out that Jughead has become a therapist.
Okay, now that profession is not...
I actually disagree because...
I don't think so.
Very well-known character for listening to all of his friends telling stories or talking to him while he eats.
I can see him being a food critic.
That makes more sense, but I do like that he is the friend that listens and gives advice.
Okay.
And he's been well known for doing that, right?
All right.
I kind of like the idea of this. What I also find very funny is that he's never been good with the ladies. And so he is divorced with a child. And he just doesn't know how to talk to women.
Yeah, so in this scenario, since they all came back to Riverdale for their 15-year reunion, he's worried because a throwback to the comics is, Big Ethel. In the comics she had like this big, this ponytail on the top of her head, and she wore frumpy clothes, and she had these buck teeth, and she used to chase Jughead all over the school because she just was in love with him, and he just wanted no parts of her. And so he comes back to Riverdale and he's like avoiding her like the plague. Oh my God, I hope I don't see Ethel. And I said it to you. I'm like, there is no way that she's going to be the same Ethel in the comic books. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's funny that he actually finally does.
It takes a long time in the movie, but yeah, he finally does. And of course, she's gorgeous.
She's like a Hawaiian tropic model.
Yes.
And I was like, this is amazing. Amazing. I loved it.
I will say, a little shocked that they never did the famous Jughead hat.
Okay. I was thinking about how they would do that with this particular actor, because if
in the flashback they should have done it.
In the flashback they should have done it, but when he was
is
supposed to be
always
younger,
eating.
but he is okay. Now they did the whole hamburger thing. Hamburgers are his thing. In the comics, all he would do was eat hamburgers. That's why he hung out at Pop's all the time.
Yeah, he always does have a hamburger in his hand, in his pocket, in his hand, and he's always eating in this movie, which I thought was clever. What I really like was sometimes when he doesn't have a sandwich or anything, he pulls one out of a bag out of his pocket during sequences, and I kept watching it, going, you know what? You guys are doing a good job.
Yeah.
I kept saying you're doing a good job.
They're putting
in this
little
movie.
things in there here and there. Like, I always wondered what would be the best like Reggie Mantle, the best
that's the other casting
occupation for Reggie Mantle, and he owns his own gym, which makes 100% like sense.
He owns his own gym, but he also is a realtor.
Mm-hmm.
And he is the guy who kicks people out of their places. Now, I was like, you know what? Again?
I mean, I don't know if he's not a realtor. He actually works... He kind of like works in cahoots with Hiram Lodge. Hiram Lodge pretty much owns a whole town.
Yeah, and it also makes sense because he would team up with Hiram because he does love Veronica.
Yes, Reggie has always had a thing for Veronica.
Yeah, obsessed with her.
But the thing is that he wants, this is a side plot, is Pop Tate's chocolate shop is right next door to Reggie's gym. So he wants to tear down Pop's shop and build and expand on his gym. And so Pop's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to go. So Archie, being a lawyer, he steps in and tries to help Pop.
Yes.
So that's like the little side plot. Otherwise, I mean, is there anything like any other plot points that are going on here?
The plot point is igniting the story between the love triangle. And this is more about like, they're trying to move on, and is nostalgia good? And is it like, there's a kind of like a heart here that feels very, very Archie comics to me. I think well, I also will say it gets very sexy as well, which I think any Archie fan would actually be very pleased to see Lauren Holly in
a towel,
sexy outfits. And she at one time is wearing like a piece that's like a white cherry top lingerie type thing.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I felt like at any moment they're going to get even sexier with it because she kept going in the bathroom and I was like, where's this going to go?
Okay, control yourself over there.
I'm just saying. And also Veronica does the same. She drops her outfit as well, and she's got lingerie
the whole trench coat drop. And,
yes.
she's like
she's
electric sex under there.
She's got Carmen Sandiego's jacket at one point. And I was like, I know where we're going with this.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing of like them playing, their little game with him. And he's engaged, mind you. But
yeah, that's the thing in this movie. But they're all engaged to people that not necessarily are the people for them.
Well, not Veronica. She's just a hoe.
She said she has been married 4 times.
She's been married 4 times. And like Archie's
engaged
like,
8.
I'm not going to be number 5 here, pal. Yeah. So go F yourself.
What would have been special to be about that? I actually thought that there were some sequences where he talks to these people, but the chemistry... And I don't know if I feel the chemistry between Veronica and Archie as much.
No.
But the chemistry between Betty and Archie is very strong in this movie.
Well, that's how it's always been. She's been like the best friend, the girl next door, the best friend.
There is no question here. Like, there is no question. It's like, you must be a moron. Like, I want to smack him through the screen. I'm like, what is going on with you?
Yeah.
But I mean, whatever. It is what it is. But all of this is well done, and that plot, finding out who is the ones to be with and not, and the way that it is they go about it is interesting.
Yeah.
And also, there is another plot line, and I think we need to talk about this. There is a plot. Well, there's 2 plot lines here. One in which Hiram virtually tells his limo driver accidentally to kill Archie. That is a plot point.
Strike 3. I told him once to stay away from her. Now I need you to be more convincing.
You don't want him to see her again?
Never.
Yes, sir.
And I guess in speaking about that, we have to speak about one thing that my nerddom could not unsee in this movie, and I could not stop thinking and talking about it. And that is a sequence in which we find out the limo driver has dismantled the driving in his car, Archie's car.
God.
And Archie goes on a mad driving spree around town. Now, while instead of paying attention in the movie, I could not, because we were clearly on a famous backlot to, I guess, Universal. I'm not sure.
You were just looking for the Fright Night house.
I knew every single building in this block. I said, I think that's the top of the the Bates Motel house.
The Bates house.
Bates house.
And then
I'm like, there is definitely a gazebo in the middle of this town. And what was funny is I realized
Monster Squad was filmed there.
Monster Squad, Back to the Future.
Yep.
I said, I know there's a gazebo, and then I realized, oh, the camera is in the middle of the gazebo.
Yeah.
So they were spinning. And I just couldn't unsee it. I said, I guarantee there's also a church on the end of this block because I've seen it in 50 damn movies at least. And I know especially from the 80s, I know every house. I also definitely know for a fact that while this is all set stuff, that famous sets, the Hiram Lodge house, their house is the Murder, She Wrote house.
No.
Yeah. So the whole time I was like, I know every damn set. Like, I know
awesome.
every shot. I'm like staring at it. I was telling you, like, I guarantee that's there. Can you look for this? I think this is where this is going to be. And I just couldn't unsee it.
It's so funny. I saw you. I glanced over and I was like, oh my God, he's looking for that Fright Night house.
It's not just Fright Night. It's every movie. Like, I know that block. I know that shot. I know where they're walking.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
like, I can't believe how much.
We've seen a lot of movies.
I was like, I know this is right here in this shot. That's how much I love film. And it really gave me a nice nostalgia trip. Now, what was funny about this sequence is he is driving all around town until the point where they have to recycle the same block over and over. So they just making him drive and they keep changing the set.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, cut camera, put a whole carnival in the middle of the street for no reason.
Yeah,
There's a festival.
So there's like a festival on the cul-de-sac where the gazebo is that he's passed around 6 times.
6 times.
Can we just talk about
apparently
this?
While he's doing this drive.
Never comes back ever. That fact that Hiram Lodge is like an attempted murderer because he's taken out the brakes. Yeah. He's taken out the freaking the gear shift.
His limo driver did. And
but he told him to.
But he said, I need you to stop him or take him out. I have no idea what he says. And
you were supposed to take care of this.
I tried.
Try harder.
He crashes into his job. Like, he crashes through the window of Reggie's workout place.
Yeah, but you know what? I would expect Reggie to like lose his mind. He does, but I mean, not in the way you would expect.
It's because we cut. And by the way, we should also point out that in the back seat of this car crash is Jughead's son, who's a little dick in this movie, but that's the plot. There's a plot of making the father and son become father and son instead of like two strangers.
Yeah.
But also Moose's kid. And we kept saying, is anybody worried about Moose? Moose worried about his son?
Nobody even realizes that Moose and Midge's son is like gonna die. He's like in the back of this car with no brakes. They crashed through a freaking window with glass everywhere. It's a goddamn convertible. I'm like, oh my God. And nobody tells Moose and Midge anything about this. And the next scene,
never mentioned.
They're sitting in the courthouse and the freaking kid is sitting next to him just fine.
Yeah,
like
just
nothing.
fine.
Didn't even bother
They're in the
to tell him.
courthouse because they move right into the Pop's defense plot line. Yeah, and now this is the second plot line we have to talk about, and the second nerd thing, and maybe I have questions for you. So, in the running Jughead trying to be a good father plot line, we have Jughead and his son at the gazebo that I'm talking about in the last conversation here, and we get one of the most bizarre things I've seen in a long time that I could not think of anything else but Teen Witch top that, because we have a Jughead and his son do a rap version of Sugar Sugar, which is their famous song that the Archies did. It is crazy.
Okay, so it's a rap. Like they do a rap song, and the son is all about it. Like he's trying to impress a little girl.
Because he comes up with the idea that, like, I'm not good with women either, and you're not good with women, so we have something in common. I have an idea. Let's embarrass ourselves as white rappers, like the whitest thing you've ever seen in your life.
Oh no!
Come here. Yeah, ho! Sugar. Aw, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me. Sugar. Aw, honey. You are my candy girl, and you got me rocking you. Break it down with me, please. When I kiss you, girl, never knew how sweet a kiss could be. Then you laid your ever-loving stuff on me.
Break it down for me, fella.
I'm gonna make your life so sweet. Rockin', moving, shaking, stuff. I'm gonna rock your world complete. Rockin', moving, grooving, say what?
What I love during the sequence is they actually cut to the coach.
Coach Chuck Clayton.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just wanted his disappointment in the sequence. I made me laugh so hard.
What am I doing in this movie?
By the way, great that he's the coach. That was another funny casting choice for that idea. But
Yeah.
they do a rap. Now, I got to ask you, because there's a running thing in this movie that, first off, this guy, this actor, is like
Break it down, won't you please?
Rubber Man.
He is. It's
And-
so creepy. He's like really skinny and weird.
He's good at it, you know?
Yeah, he is.
But I have to ask you, did Jughead dance a lot? Was there a lot of wacky dancing going on from Jughead?
No, Jughead was the laziest piece of crap ever. Okay, he would never even move. He just wanted to eat hamburgers and sit and pet hot dog all day.
Because the
Like
rap,
that was all he did. He was a lazy piece of shit.
the rap is next level.
It was teamwork, Dad.
Yo, give me 5, my man.
You a fish, Jughead.
Oh, you were styling too, my man. Oh, did you see that move I busted? Oh, I was grooving.
But they had a band.
They did.
And they actually, there's a big point in this at the prom, the Archies are supposed to play, and nobody told the Archies that they were reuniting for their song.
Okay, this is, reunite after 15 years and just okay, first of all, can we talk about this? The idea of the Archies in itself from the comics is so straight up ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, they all know how to play an instrument, including Veronica, who literally only cares about two things: money and makeup. Or fashion, really.
We talked about this last week. This is so funny that it came back, because last week we talked about Gem and the Holograms, and we were talking about how all these old things had a band. Everybody started a band.
Of course.
And so we were like, oh, Gem and the Holograms, the Zack Attack, or whatever the hell that was, Jesse and the Rippers. And I said Cold Slither from G.I. Joe. And then we were just thinking, oh, and the Archies.
The Archies.
So here we are with the Archies.
Yeah.
They have a hit record.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, and fun fact. I have a fun fact about the Archies, okay?
Yeah.
The person who produced this song is the uncle of one of my coworkers.
Is that true?
That is true.
Well, you should tell them that the guy couldn't use the copyright on the YouTube version of this movie. They had to blur it out.
I'm gonna tell her next time I go back to the office.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah.
Yep.
So that's really cool. What a small world that is.
Yep.
It just amazes me that the Archies came out with a hit single.
Yep. And that's the end of him, because it's only been
Yeah,
one.
they never had another one. I'm surprised they didn't have
Yeah.
a burger song. They should have had a famous burger tune.
I
Pop
mean,
Shop.
Yeah. They maybe they had another song or two, but
They must have a B side, right? Did they only have an A side? There's no way.
Oh, it's called Salty Salty.
Yeah.
It's written by Veronica Lodge. She a bitch.
Oh yeah, she a bitch. That's awesome. Yeah, and I don't even think Josie and the Pussycats had their hit. They didn't have a hit, right?
I'm trying to think of that opening song on their, cartoon.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's their opening song. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that best version of that song is that one that the Adult Swim had at night, where they went through every genre of music, and they did that song in that genre of music.
in the
which is
yeah,
awesome.
it was cool.
It's so cool.
Josie and the Pussycats.
Yeah. They had a DJ version. They had
Yeah.
It was really cool. Country. They had a country
Yeah.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
It's so cool. Yes. So so that crazy stuff happens with this movie where Betty's also got a boyfriend who we mentioned before, and he also is super jealous, but he should be.
She totally is. I mean, she couldn't be more obvious about loving Archie still if she had a mattress strapped to her back.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, she is so obvious about it. Any man would have been jealous. Like, if that's your girl and, like, your old boyfriend came back into town or whatever, or you came back into town and saw your old boyfriend, Yeah, I mean anyone, because she literally is like heavy breathing on him. It's like crazy.
There's this weird thing that happens in this movie where Archie's supposed to be selling his place and he doesn't move out because he stays in town for the whole reunion, which is like a week event.
Yeah, well, they have a opening party at Lodge, the Lodge estate.
Yeah.
So Veronica's there, and they invited everybody, and then it's like a whole week long festivities in the town.
The principal, who's still the principal, he and he hasn't aged a day.
Okay,
He says they have all these events planned. We never see any of them, but the prom, the fake reunion prom type thing that they do. Where Archie's play at.
Oh, okay.
It's like a version of the prom or
yeah,
whatever.
I guess like a dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they do the first meeting. Everybody eats together at the lodge house.
Yeah.
And they were supposed to go on field trips and stuff, but they never do any of that.
They never do.
There actually is an event that they do where they take over the carnival and they have like a bumper car off where they actually almost kill Archie again.
This is Reggie because he trashed his. Not only did he trash his business, but he also is Archie standing in the way of Reggie owning Pop Tates.
Yes.
So Reggie's just after him. They should have made a little joke in there about like Reggie's revenge, because that would have been like a little kickback to his comic book, because he had his own comic. That would have been really cute.
Well,
There's a lot of missed opportunities.
He teams up with Betty's boyfriend to try to kill him during this bumper car thing. And
they literally try to straight up kill him.
They crash him, and luckily, Moose is there to adjust his neck.
Okay. Now, there's literally...
I gotta tell you, I laughed a lot.
We laughed, because there is literally no way you would ever let this monster touch you.
Oh, yeah. Once he did it, though, I was like, I bet that's gonna feel real nice.
You know what's amazing about Moose, though? Is like, he's such a nice guy, but he's so intimidating, but he's also not too bright. Like he's never too bright in the comics. He's always like, duh.
They did a good job of it, though.
They'd actually sometimes in the comics spell out, duh.
Yeah.
But like, I just thought that these moments were really cute, especially with Moose and Midge, who needed more screen time. But I thought this is like super cute moments in this movie. Speaking
of Moose, I have to bring this up because it made me laugh really hard. At the end of this film, there is a second attempt on Archie's life, by the limo driver, who has now handed Archie a bomb.
Okay, can we just talk about this, please?
Yeah.
The whole entire fucking town is there to support Pop.
Because Pop stands because he loses the court case thing, and he stands in front of the bulldozers about to, for some reason, bulldoze the entire shop, not letting him move out and take his stuff out. They're literally just going to demolish it, which is crazy. And during this event, the town comes, especially from the reunion, they all run there because for some reason the principal goes, "Oh my God, you won't believe what's happening in the middle of the town." So everybody runs to go look.
Yep.
Well, Archie's handed a bomb after they talk everybody down from demolishing Pop's place. And he's holding a bomb. And then Veronica finds this out and runs over because her dad's like, "Wait a minute, you gave him a bomb? I didn't tell you to kill him."
First of all, can we talk about this fucking limo driver? He's straight up murderer, okay?
Yeah, because...
Where did they get him, out of San Quentin or whatever?
I don't know, but one of my favorite lines of dialogue is that he says, "I didn't tell you to kill him. Now give me the trigger so you don't set the bomb off because all those people are in town." And he goes, "No, I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to give you this."
He wants to kill like 300 people.
He's into it.
Done, sir. Done. Your problem's almost eliminated.
You were supposed to frighten Archie, not eliminate him.
Well, it's only a bomb.
There are hundreds of people out there.
No problem, sir. It has to be triggered by this.
Give that to me.
I don't know if I want to.
And it made me laugh really hard. They fight over the trigger, and Veronica goes and tells Archie about the bomb that he's holding. Now, one of the things that I love about this is he yells "bomb," and everybody starts running off. But if you watch, Moose picks up Midge like a lawn dart under his armpit and runs off with her. And that made me really laugh hard. I was like...
There were some cute moments in this.
This movie, like, I can't stress this enough. If you're an Archie fan...
Yeah.
Like, if you're a fan of the old comic books or the old cartoon, I think this is pretty damn successful at what it's trying to do. Is it great? Is it like one of the best things you've... No, absolutely not. But Riverdale, the TV show that everybody seems to know, is nothing like the comic
nothing.
books.
No, that show is dark.
Yeah.
It's brooding. It's weird.
It's trying to be Twin Peaks. By the way, there's a sequence in this movie where it does also feel like Twin Peaks for no reason. In a library where two people are talking about and almost making out in the library.
Yeah, Archie and Betty.
Yeah, they talk about how Veronica dropped her clothes in front of him and everything. Real loud. Nobody makes a mention or says shh in a library. And all I kept thinking, and I kept hearing during the sequence is the Twin Peaks music.
Yes, because the music that they were playing was very similar. It was very
kind of
ominous and strange for the scene.
Yes, it felt so Twin Peaks. It was very strange,
It
really
was
interesting. But the Riverdale show that everybody knows on CW is trying to do a couple shows mashed into one. And every season they would do another show. It's less Archie and more of those other shows. And this is hardcore Archie.
It is. I mean, the only thing that I can say was, absent from this, because, they're
There's
having a
some characters.
reunion. There's a couple of characters that were missing, but like Dilton, he was a major player in Archie comics. Dilton Doily.
And he could have easily been a part of this. Very shocking that he's not.
But you know what though? He
They should have made
was
him a tech genius.
very, very smart. So like I can see him not having time to come to a freaking reunion. He's probably a NASA engineer.
That would have been funny if he flew in and he was just like even more successful than
Right?
And maybe he bought Pops to save it.
Yeah.
Something could have easily been worked in here. I think could have worked really good.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, they did a cute job on this. It was like 1990. I think they did a cute job on it. I mean, making them older instead of high school kids, and making them come back to Riverdale. I thought that was a cute notion.
Yeah.
I really did not hate this at all.
And I must say that there's some really funny jokes in the favor of that. There's a sequence where Jughead and him are talking, and he's like, maybe it's because of nostalgia that you are feeling this way again about Veronica and Betty again.
Mhm.
And then he goes, sometimes I wonder, like, why did we leave here? And he's like, is it nostalgia or is it something else? And he goes, those years are the best years of our lives.
Mm.
And he goes, yeah, why did we ever graduate? We shouldn't have done that, right? And I laughed because that's a running joke from the comics. They have never grown up. They have never graduated, right? Until they do stories like this where they do move on. So I was like, that's a fun joke.
Yeah.
And there's stuff like that. Like they go to Jughead's junkyard that he has.
Yes.
And they find some references. Some of them we didn't know. I don't think we knew what the heck the reference was, but they are obviously referencing some popular moments in the history, but not like ones that really stuck out to us. But I thought that was cool.
I mean, it could mean a couple of things. Like they found a trophy and stuff. I mean, Archie did play sports.
He found his old football.
Yeah,
thing.
his old football.
Yeah,
hat,
he found. There was a reference to a sock. They've had some flashbacks to the way they referenced their jackets and the outfits.
They didn't mention hot dog though. Could have mentioned somewhere mentioned hot dog.
Yeah, there's just tons of stuff that was left out, but pretty darn fun.
I mean, it was really cute. I mean, aside from like Mr. Weatherby and Miss Grundy, who were in it, I mean, they would be long dead at this point.
I know, especially since everybody's parents seem to be gone.
I don't know.
And Jughead doesn't even have a place. They actually crash at Archie's. But I was bringing this up. I think I was trying to get there, and somehow we got off topic. But there's a sequence in this that's really weird where he gets kicked out of his house because the people that were going to move in, they come there and move all of his stuff into a moving van, and they go into his house. And so he has to go find a hotel randomly. But we never find out what happened to Jughead and his son because they were staying with Archie.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they had to go to a hotel also.
Yeah.
I mean, they literally didn't even announce themselves. They just showed up at his house and said, okay, we're crashing here.
And torture him. and torture him to the point where they all become extremely good friends, which is funny. But what I really thought was funny is suddenly he's in a hotel room, and I don't know if it's a setup for the women all coming there to fight over him.
Yeah, I mean, that would make sense because then his fiance shows up and she's, obviously they're not meant to be, but they break up and he has to make a choice between Betty and Veronica.
Yeah, but during this sequence, though, and that's why I was wondering if this hotel room was only set up for the love triangle joke where Betty now becomes the Veronica character and tries to seduce him.
Right.
And he keeps putting her... There's a line of dialogue here that's just next level. He puts Betty in the shower. Like, he puts her in the bathroom, and she's like, oh, let's take a shower together. So he, traps her in there. Then Veronica shows up and goes, oh, my favorite. I can't wait to get wet with you. Or something like that.
Sexual for, an after-school movie.
Yeah, so then he sticks her in a closet that's, the size of a bedroom, which made me laugh. And then locks her in there. And then his fiance shows up at the same time, and he runs out.
Yeah, so he leaves the two babes in there to find each other.
Yeah.
And Betty comes out in her towel and she's all sexy and stuff. And I was like, oh my goodness. But yeah, so at the end, they all meet at Pop Tate's, which, survives all of this because Hiram Lodge says, to his daughter, basically, you mean more to me than money. And I'm going to stop this. So he stops the demolition of Pop Tate's and everyone's all happy again.
I had to say the reason that they break up is that the Archie and his fiance, the reason they break up is important. I only say that what I thought was very funny is that she has never met Veronica and Betty, but they show up at the dance and she says, they both say, you have to make up your mind. We're both in love with you. Which one do you want? In front of his fiance.
Yeah.
And his fiance is like, excuse me, what the hell is happening?
I know,
here?
are you kidding me right now?
And then the whole thing is that she doesn't like that Archie has nostalgia for his past.
Right.
And when he goes and plays his hit song at this concert with his friends, even Reggie gets on stage and plays, she's not impressed.
No.
She's actually like, ugh, you have a hit song? And she instantly falls in love with Betty's boyfriend. Yep. Who is also a jerk.
They hit it off. So the two jerks hit it off.
Yeah.
And then here's Archie. He's single again, and he's being made to make a decision on, Betty and Veronica. However, this is great because in the comics, he never makes that decision.
Which is what the show would have been. The ending of this is that everybody moves back. They all suggest that they're going to be there for the summer. It turns out Betty is not only going to be a school teacher, but now she's going to be a successful
writer,
romance novelist.
Okay, well, here's the thing. I don't think that Archie deserves Betty. I never thought that.
No, that's a big idiot. Part of it is that Archie doesn't deserve her at all.
No, if
Not
anything, he deserves to be knocked around by Veronica because he's a freaking idiot.
He kind of does deserve that.
Veronica is a bitch. And let's face it, men, are more drawn toward stronger-willed, aggressive women, and that's exactly what Veronica is. She's
Who
an aggressive.
What? You said men are
men are usually drawn to stronger-willed, aggressive women.
Where'd you get this
idea? They find
idea?
that sexy. Well, because you married me. What the hell?
I'm not your usual person in the world.
I'm not exactly, your damsel in distress or your cute little Betty Cooper.
What we've learned, speaking to a lot of women, is that when you're a successful woman, for some reason, guys get turned off by that.
Oh, that's true.
That's usually not the case, which is
true.
Especially these days. We keep meeting people and we're like, what? That person's single, and we're always shocked about it.
Yeah.
Because guys are idiots. Let's face facts. Guys don't like an independent, strong woman, which is bizarre to me. Because what's better than a person who can take care of themselves and be strong? I don't know. Smart. It's just weird to me. But yeah, I personally think that in this movie, it is settled that he loves Betty. Because in this movie, if you ask me, when he talks to Veronica, he comes up with that conclusion like, I don't want to take advantage of you, and I don't want to be the fifth husband. I'm not interested in that.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking right there is the admitting.
I mean, 5 husbands. Did she start at 18? I mean,
she said she was engaged 8 times.
Oh, for God's sakes. I mean, that's
So,
ridiculous.
15 years makes sense. She
So,
got divorced every week.
If none of those guys made the cut, why would Archie,
Well,
who
that's-
is literally...
She says that. She says the truth is that none of those guys were you.
Right, well, it's crazy because he's poor. He can't buy her diamonds.
Poor. He is a
he's-
successful lawyer.
Is he successful?
He was going to be a partner in a big
Only
law
because
firm?
of the girl. But now that girl's not in the
Well,
picture,
not that he's going to stay in Riverdale anyways and be a lawyer there.
I suppose you're right. But the Archie from, high school was not that type. He was the type to go pick flowers in a field and instead of buying expensive roses,
Which is nice.
Right. But
That's thoughtful.
Veronica is more of a highfalutin, hoity-toity rich girl.
Isn't that what she likes? He's not your typical person. He actually is thoughtful.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
I just don't think what I get from this is that he doesn't really love her. It's just more of a sexual thing. But even he, in this movie, turns her away in that way.
Yeah, I guess
There
so.
is one sequence where Reggie's begging him, like, hey, get me with Veronica and I'll stop the Pops thing. And then right there, for no reason whatsoever, Veronica comes up and makes out with him.
Yeah,
in front of Reggie, and Reggie's like, you're going to die.
It's that aggressive moment,
Yeah. Oh, I have to mention another funny ass thing that happens with Reggie in this movie. There's a scene where he's driving through the town with his fiance after he ran out of the hotel with her. And he's driving and goes, it's nice, yeah, to see all my friends. And then Reggie drives on the side of him and goes, I hate you. and I'm like, you know what? That is really, really Archie to me.
Yeah,
Like, this is the Archie comics to me.
It was a cute little adaptation, to show them grown up and that pretty much they haven't changed that much, but it was a cute adaptation. I mean, I would probably change a couple things about it, but overall, I think they did it was a cute movie.
It's cute. It's like small. It's not like this big thing, but I'm a little shocked that Archie comics fans don't seem to know about this movie.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I mean,
because I think it does check out. It's a good way to think of the ending.
Yeah.
And that it will continue, that they will continue. Although I'm like to the point where I'm like, yeah, Archie's got to pick though.
At some point you gotta pick, dude.
Yeah.
You gotta, because at some point it's gonna get so stale that one of these girls is just gonna be like, screw this guy, I'm sick of this shit. Put a ring on it or fuck off. That's it. I can see Veronica not being that person since she's been engaged so many times. I don't think she really cares. But, Betty, I can see Betty wanting to pump out some kids, have a house with a white picket fence.
Especially since she's like a school teacher.
Yep.
They all basically, they're going to stay in this town. Even Jughead's going to move back with his son. And so the whole gang's back together.
Yeah.
And it would have spawned a TV show. And I think I kind of would have enjoyed watching that show. But I'm glad because we wouldn't have got picket fences, which was better.
That's Lauren Holly's better.
Yeah,
right?
that show's great.
Yeah.
Really fun show.
That was Costas Mandalore.
Yeah, everybody's in that damn show.
Yeah, before he was Jigsaw.
Yeah, Tom Skerritt. Awesome show.
Yeah.
I enjoyed this. I
Yeah.
had a fun time watching this. I laughed a lot.
Yeah.
To me, this is a straight 6 out of 10.
Yeah, same. It was a little bit cheesy. Like, it definitely had after school special vibes.
Of course.
But it was cute.
Yeah.
Like, I recommend you can watch this on YouTube.
Yeah. It's free on
Right?
YouTube.
Yeah, it's free
Someone
on
put it up
YouTube.
on there to save it, which is great. I will
Now,
say
what's
that
the real title of this film?
the movie is really called Archie to Riverdale and Back Again.
Okay. I thought you were just being funny.
No,
with
well, the Hobbit's the part I
Yeah.
didn't, if you didn't know that, it doesn't say
Archie
Hobbit
to
in the title.
Riverdale and back again.
A Hobbit's Tale. Hey, let me
A
just.
ginger's tale.
Oh, nice. Nice. Well done. Well done.
Oh my God.
I want to say this too, by the way. What you said nails it, I think, when you said it's a very afternoon special. But then I would say that that's what Archie kind of is in
Yeah.
itself.
Yeah.
You know, it is a wholesome, more of a tale. Sure, you know, it's also a male fantasy thing, but Veronica and Veronica and Betty also had their own series, and they were interesting characters. They became more and more interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Veronica was a stuck-up snob, but she was always the first person to lend her clothes and dresses to Betty and stuff, and they connected on some level. I mean, I don't know why they were friends, because it's kind of like a mean girl versus, you know, down home, you know, nice girl next door. And it was always weird, their friendship, but it just worked in the comics. But their weird throuple thing that they had going on.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, honestly, just own up to it. Just the three of you, just call it.
I was thinking about that too. I was like, in reality, at this point, they would all be hooking up together.
I mean, at that point, yeah, because think about it, okay? So Betty's hot, Veronica's hot. They both want Archie. Archie wants them both. Just get it.
I feel like at one point they would have just started hooking up.
You know, yeah, but I think that maybe Betty's morality would kick in and be like, I can't do this. I love him.
Yeah.
You know?
I
don't know.
There's nothing that says wholesome Archie than us talking about them in a three-way.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Well, you know, it's been, when did this series start? 1950 something? It's been that long. Times are different. No one's judging.
Yeah. Do what you got to do.
Just do it.
Be happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, pop quiz. Do you know what Jughead Jones's real first name
Forsyth.
is? How'd you know that?
How do I not know that?
Oh my God. I felt deeper in love with you. How did you know that?
And Shaggy's name is Norville, right?
Okay,
Norville
yeah. Well,
Rogers.
you're not going to get this one. Do you know Moose Mason's real name? You're going to love it.
I feel like I do know this. I got to think about this for a second.
His name is not Moose. It's a nickname.
Yeah, of course. It's not Jughead. It's not Moose. Oh, man. I definitely do know this. I don't know. Tell me.
Marmaduke.
Okay, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, that's what I got. And I'm really impressed that you know that his name is Forsyth.
I watched Riverdale's first season with you.
Did they say that in the...
No Cheryl in this.
No Cheryl. No.
Interesting. I didn't even think of that until just now. We were talking about Milton, the whole movie.
Dilton.
God,
yeah.
I'm sorry. You can see why I got that name mixed up.
Yeah.
But I didn't think once about Cheryl. That's odd.
Yeah, and I told you Josie and the Pussycats could have shown up, but they didn't want to go there, I guess.
No, because that's a whole nother rights issue.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all still Archie comics.
Kind of. I wonder about that.
Well,
that's
whatever.
like saying Sabrina couldn't have showed up.
Well, that would have been too much, but we could have had Josie playing at the dance, you know?
Yeah, but then they would have upstaged
The
what they said,
Archies.
the best, the most talented from Riverdale, the Archies.
Well, I mean, they did have talent. They could jam.
Yeah, sure. With their one hit.
Yeah.
All right, so you know what? We enjoyed this one. I'm a little shocked. Did not expect this. I thought this was going to be a disaster.
Okay, well, I was so busy enjoying the movie that I never found my before and after reviews.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know what to do.
I definitely know there's a 1 and a 10. I definitely saw them.
Oh, you did?
I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, let me just see what I can find real quick. But I will.
Did you say before and after reviews, by the way?
Did I say before and after reviews?
I feel like you did.
I think I did. Wait.
What segment is this?
The before and after reviews.
Just another movie night.
I think I did say before and after reviews. You have to cut that shit out.
I didn't find my... No, you got to leave it in now.
Oh.
But before and after reviews.
My
by
segment
Joe.
of why we can't have nice things. Oh, God, I forget what show I'm on half the time.
Oh,
Anyway, all right. So there's a 1. There's lots of 1. All right.
Someone's like, it's not like the CW show.
I mean, they're hands down just writing a whole, like, 3-page article of why this movie is so bad. Come on. I don't have time for this biz. I'm not reading this shit.
Lauren Holly as Betty is something I didn't know I needed in my life.
You need Lauren Holly, period. You're drooling. Pick it up.
You said it too during this movie. We didn't even talk about the tennis sequence when they made her bend over.
Oh my god.
You actually looked at me and said, look at those cheeks.
I couldn't help it. They were there. All right. Anyway.
If she would have married Lloyd, she would have been Merry Christmas and Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
I think that's a joke that I don't know if anybody ever noticed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the world noticed it.
Did they?
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling them again.
Well, I got a 10 here. A 10 out of 10. This was a good live-action remake of the comic. I really enjoyed this movie because I grew up with the Archie comics and always wondered who would play their parts if this was ever live action. The only thing I would have left out was the fact that Archie and his fiancée are living together. Not a good example for kids. Great job otherwise. The characters are well captured. I just wish another could be made to show the cast in their 40s and what they would do with their lives.
So this person was mad that they were living together as an engaged couple, but not mad that Veronica and Betty both dropped their clothes for him. Sweet.
They're living in sin.
Yeah.
They're living in sin, but their other two are running around half naked.
Or that the little kid or Jughead's kid is like all about Veronica being naked.
Yes.
Yeah. But you know what? The one thing is living in sin. Jeez.
I found a 1.
Or not the serial killer limo driver.
Oh my god. Okay, first of all, that guy should be like in shackles.
We don't even know what happened.
In a dungeon.
To him. Yeah.
No, he was a murderer.
There is a world in which the sequel has him in jail getting revenge.
And not only did he rig a car to completely lose control,
Tried to kill two
two children in that car.
Yeah.
I mean, damn. All right, this is the one. It's titled Ouch. An absolutely laugh-free live-action version of the comic book cartoon perennial, with sheepish actors portraying the Riverdale High Gang as annoying 30-somethings. Archie's a lawyer, Reggie's an entrepreneur, Veronica's a multi-divorced billionaire, Betty's a school marm, Jughead's a shrink. The franchise's high point, the catchy Sugar Sugar, is excruciatingly performed as a rap. Who exactly was this film made for? Adults who grew up with the Archie comics and Saturday morning show won't sit through this poorly produced film with cheap special effects. I sat through it, you dick.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh my god, okay.
I think he's living in sin.
Yeah, both Betty and Veronica try to seduce poor Archie, whose snotty fiancé is about to drop in. The final shot, the gang decides to move back to Riverdale, and they pose for a triumphant snapshot. Strongly implies that this movie was intended as a pilot for a new series. Be thankful it never came to pass.
Wow.
All right, well, you know what?
I don't understand how a fan of the old comics would think this way, but I mean, hey, look, all to their own. One is a little ridiculous. I know he pointed out the hotel sequence as well, so I know I know it's not just a 1 in that guy's mind because he was definitely into that sequence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, that's at least a 2 or 3-way.
Word. A thruple?
A thruple.
I'm sorry, but I like the word
thruple out of 10.
A thruple.
We should have said that. I give us a thruple out of 10.
Oh, man. Oh.
All right, so I'm very pleased. Next week, we're going to ruin our streak.
Oh, no.
All right, because we've been slowly moving up each week in shock, too. 2 back-to-back where we're like,
okay.
Kind of impressed.
Yeah, all right.
Now we're going to completely dive.
What's the next week?
With The Adventures of Rocky and Bullwinkle, a live-action turd starring some of the best actors around. So I cannot wait to see it. I've always wanted to watch it. So we're going to do that next week. And as always, look for us on Instagram at Joe at the Crafty Misfit, making some nice crafty crafts. It's great. I love it.
Do you know what I make?
Earrings. Beautiful. Beautiful ears. They're all over the place in the house. She's crafting constantly, guys. Go check it out.
Hey. I'm going to be at Spooky Empire in Orlando in June. June 19th.
I think this might come out after that.
Is it? Oh, all right. Then fuck it. Fuck it.
I will have been at Spooky Empire.
I would have been there. Anyways.
Or is it
I'm making shit. No, it's Spooky
We're going to be in Spook Camp? Oh, that's right.
So we're going to be at Spookala in Tampa Fairgrounds, October 4th.
Yes.
Anyways.
And you know what? You can find me, if you want, at Just Another Movie Night on Instagram, where I review movies as much as I feel like it. You can come and yell at me about those reviews like everybody else.
I like those reviews.
And you know what? I appreciate you for listening. I really do. And I would love to hear what you think about thruples.
Do we want to know what they think about thruples?
Especially if it's a Betty, Veronica, and Archie thruple. Or if you want to get kinky, get Reggie in there. We don't know what's going on.
I think, well, because you know how I love redheads, I probably would pick Archie, even though he's an indecisive shit. I would pick Archie over Reggie because Reggie's just a dick and I don't like that. So that's not sexy to me.
Maybe that would work out better. It'd be like a rage sex.
I would pick Kevin Keller, and he's gay.
Kevin Keller.
I would pick Kevin Keller over Reggie.
Nice.
Because Kevin's at least a sweet boy.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna stop being a nerd right now.
Tell us about Jughead's sweet dance moves. We're not aware of this. So yeah, thanks again for listening. Until next time, have a good one, guys.
Archie, how about a malt for old time's sake?
Set them up, Pops, and keep them coming.
We're still waiting.
Choose, Archie.
We're making it as easy as possible for you. No matter what you decide, we won't be mad at you or each other. But we need to know.
How about a thruple?